Pardon me. Hey guys, welcome back to... Oh, no, my phone's out of focus. I like how it's ultra fast focus, but anyways. Hey guys, welcome back to another stream. Basically, now, I know you guys have just been seeing me, do repairs on my PS4. This time I've got another laptop just sent in, so... it was like half an hour ago, a quarter of an hour ago, I was coming home from school and I got this. So let me get some more lighting and show you this laptop, because it's quite an old laptop. I know it's quite a sunny day out there. Look, guys. There. Anyways, it's quite an old laptop. It's very similar to the one that I previously had, but it's kind of, I would say, it's a very old model. It's based on a very old OS, and I'm just going to give you a bit of a description on the OS. Now, not a lot of people like the OS. That's why not a lot of people bought PCs back then. You can probably tell the most hated Windows OS ever to be created. And it's on this laptop. So when I got the laptop, when I saw it, I was like, oh, what's that? There's kind of a dent in the middle. I don't know how that happened. That was just how I got the laptop. I didn't do anything to it. It just happened like that. So, whatever. Could have happened when I got given the laptop. I'm not really sure. But anyways. So on the side, we do have a DVD drive. You see, we've got a proper DVD drive. This reads all the stuff PC can read. It's got two... Back then, you did not have USB 3. I think this is cellular connection. There's an off and on switch for the cellular connection. I literally just realised that. And I think that little dot there is like an LED. I'm gonna guess that glows green, that LED when it's on. Then I come across the side, we do have what looks to be sort of a telephone line. It looks very, very, very much like that laptop there, but like a telephone line. Then we come across here, and we have, I don't know what, I honestly, hold on a second, let me put this laptop down. I don't know what that thing is. I'm going to guess that's probably something to do with SATA or some modding port. I'm not really sure what that is. This is usually, it's on laptops. This is a SD card thing for your SD card. Then you got the classic microphone and headphone port. For some reason that's quite broken there. You can kind of see it there. Now this is very odd to be on especially on a notebook, because I like notebooks a lot more than any other laptop. Look at this. This has a volume control, like an actual volume control. And this is there because back then, with this hated software, you can see it's very... Well, yeah, back then it was quite hated, but what's it called? The reason why I had a volume control is literally... I guess it's kind of a style of the OS, or part of the OS. And then you come across here, we do have, and I can already see it, I've noticed it when I was in the car, a copper heatsink. Now usually, I don't see copper heatsinks on notebooks like this, because usually stuff like this would have a copper heatsink, and it does. If I just take this out the way, 1 second. If I just show you guys in comparison, if you look very closely, this also has a copper heatsink. It's hard to tell at the moment because of this grill in the front. But yeah, I can tell you when I had this thing apart, it had a copper heatsink. And this also has a telephone line as well. So this laptop, that laptop there, this laptop here is of extremely almost in the same parts. But I like this to be in more notebook form, because it's sort of this laptop, but it's in notebook form. And that's pretty good. Now, coming across here, I don't know what this thing is, but we have something here. Look at this. Ready? Now, I thought this at first, this is probably like a little stylus. Nope, I have absolutely no idea what this is. But it comes out, it just extends. I'm not sure what this thing is. Whatever. Now this as a display output, it's got S video. I normally don't see it. I don't have any other laptops with S video. I don't know what the hell this thing is. This is probably for like printers and stuff like that. And come across here, we do have VGA as a second output. Just because at the time, laptops like that did have outputs like this. Coming across the back, we do. You know what? I'm gonna guess is behind here. Because what it looks like that's behind here, right? What it looks like that's behind here. I think. This is me just thinking, but I think it was one of those. I think there's probably a DVI port behind here, just because it just looks like, and it does sort of bend. Why is it in this shape as well? It's a very sort of very questionable. Like, why is it in this shape? It looks a lot like a DVI port. Now, yes, on this part, we got 2 more USBs. This is very much like a desktop form, just the way that the layout of the USBs, they're both stacked on top of each other. We've got the charger on the back, just like a Dell laptop, because usually Dell laptops have the charger on the back. And then we've also got the Ethernet port. I think this is, well, just says number 3 in there. Look, you see in there. That's probably the manufacturer number or something like that. But it's so sort of desktop-like that when you plug in an Ethernet cable, it's got these 2 LEDs here. These 2 LEDs indicate which is which. It's kind of like a hard drive. Speaking of hard drives, I wonder if this thing has a hard drive LED. I don't think they do. I don't think Toshiba laptops really do have a hard drive LED. But I would like to see one that does have a hard drive LED, because it's just better. I don't know why they didn't put a hard drive LED on here. Anyways, coming across to the inside of the laptop, you have to do this latch like that first, and then laptop that comes like that. Now I'm just got sent a voice message by Jamie. Oh, does this have some LEDs on the bottom? Oh, it does have a hard drive LED. It's got a charger, power, battery status, hard drive, and also an SD card. Yeah, so this is very much like that laptop there. The only difference is, this is completely a different laptop. This is a Toughbook. This is from a different company, entirely different company. This is also from a good company as well. But this is sort of this, but it's in notebook form. Now, if you know me, I like notebooks, so this is amazing for me. And yes, the most hated software in the world. And people still hate this software. Look, right there, look. That software there, I'll stop overexposing. Yeah, it's very faint there, but yeah, that software there. A lot of people don't like that software. Yeah, let me zoom out. Alright, so now, as we come across the keyboard, got a nice dark mode keyboard, because in this laptop, the keyboard is not dark mode, it's just light mode with dark letters on it. I don't like that. Personally, I would prefer something like this, because dark mode is what I prefer. They really try to make this like a desktop. It does feel very laptopy though. And then we have our extra media buttons on the side. So we've got, I think these are both rockers. Yeah, they are. It's kind of like a volume rocker, but in inside of a laptop. So we've got previous and forward. We've got stop, pause, play. This is great for YouTube videos and stuff like that. I don't know what this is. I think this is for like videos and whatever that thing is. I think that's for internet. Or reload the web page probably. I'm honestly not sure what I'm not trying to go in the comments. I'm not really sure what that one is there, because you press it, but this is for videos. That one there, I don't have a clue what that is. I think that's probably for reload the web page. Yeah, you've got all these buttons down here though. And now I've got a nice little square trackpad. I remember on the, yeah, this is a lot like my Samsung laptop, because the buttons are super clicky. On this one, this feels more like this feels very Windows 7-y, you know what I mean? Like, it feels very Windows 7. When you press the button, like you can actually, it's like almost like you're pressing a keyboard or something. But it's, there's no click. It's very silent. high quality, not cheapy feel click. That's the only downside to this laptop at the moment. Then we've got our stereo speakers, which they are actually. I can't tell if there's a speaker there, but I know there's a speaker there because I can clearly see it. If you look just in the right place, you can see like sort of speaker. Now cooling wise, I'm not really sure how it is. But anyways, what should we do? I'm gonna put it on charge for a bit because when I was asking all the questions about this laptop, I was like, is this laptop, how long has this thing been dead for? So luckily, if I close this thing, it does come with a charger. You see here, here's a charger. So our charger, what the hell is that? Some weird stain on there. I definitely didn't do that. Anyways, what do we got? So this charger should rate for 19.1. Oh no, it's 19 volts. I thought, because usually on a notebook it's 19.1 volts. This is just straight up 19 volts. I'm really hoping. Oh, this is the Delta Oh my god, that's a lot like my PS4. I did not know Delta Electronics made power supplies for laptops. I thought Delta Electronics just made power supplies for PS4s. I did not know they made power supplies for laptops. So that's fairly good, Fairly solid there. It should work with my other laptops too. I'm not sure. I'll give it a go though. It's got its own LED. Delta Electronics, that's pretty good. I like that. Honestly, something like Delta Electronics, because I'm very sort of familiar with them. I've been using the things for a while now. Especially the jet fans. That's one thing I've got a lot in all of my consoles. Mostly their jet fans in my consoles. I've only got a Nidec CPU fan by stock in one console that I have, but that's just that. Every other console I bought always had a Delta fan, and also every laptop that I got given always had a Delta fan. So you can clearly see there, Delta is very famous with the jet fans. But depending on the jet fan, it can be quiet as well. It's good as fairly short cable. I'll probably compare it to my other one in a second. But anyways, so we did have this laptop there charging yesterday. It's got full green LEDs. If I turn it on, you can see it's got full green LEDs, so that you can tell it's fully charged. Turn it off, unplug, and let's plug in the new charger. No, it's straight going in, but whatever, I'll clean it later. But yeah, what's it called? Like how the charger's been kept in really nice condition. I think the charger went back here somewhere. Hey JV, what's up? Let me just flip the laptop over. There we go. It's very laptopy. It's funny how I just repair a lot of laptops. And, oh my god, is this even the right charger for the laptop? I don't think it is, look. Doesn't even fit. Look at that. Oh, that's such a shame. Unless you have to force it in. Which I'm not doing, because it doesn't look like it go in. I think this is the wrong charger. God damn it. I'm going to go get my special Toshiba charger. I'll be right back with you all. Give me a second. I do have a separate Toshiba charger downstairs, so I'll be right back. Alright everyone, I'm back. Obviously, the guy gave me the wrong charger. Not give me, but gave. When I clean my PS5, do you wanna call? When are you gonna clean your PS5? Are you gonna clean your PS5 in a couple of minutes? How long are you gonna? Anyways, I've got my specialized Toshiba exclusive charger, which is only rated for 19 volts. It says on here 19 volts there. It does say 19 volts on the other one, but that one doesn't really fit. So I think the guy probably used a special adapter that goes with this later. Alright. I would just plug it in as it is and yeah, whatever. It's kind of close to it anyways. There's no need for the extra bandwidth. But anyways, plug it in, there we go. And plug the laptop in. Oh, you bastard. It doesn't fit either. How, wait, what charger does this thing take? Don't tell me it takes a Dell laptop charger. Imagine if it did, A Dell laptop charger. Would you have to squeeze this thing to actually charge? How the hell would you charge this? Not even this is going in, look. Not even this Toshiba charger is going in. I'm trying to force it in, but I don't want to break anything. That's a specialized Toshiba charger. Why isn't that working with this? Unless this does to actually take a Dell laptop charger. I'll be back 1 second. I'm gonna go get my Dell laptop charger. Be right back, everyone. I think the connector type is different. Alright guys, never mind, my Dell laptop charger, I've just realised. I looked at the connector when I was going to take it, and the connector, so you know how the Toshiba laptop chargers, they usually have the Hey there, Luke. They usually have the massive sort of round hole, and then they've got a very thin pin in the dead center. So that's not going to work with this, because this is kind of like that. Look at this. This has basically got the same thing as that laptop. It's sort of inverted. So you've got to use specialized Toshiba charger, and that, you know, I've just used like one. So there's nothing else I could really think of. I don't think a Dell laptop charger could a Samsung laptop charger. Let me try Samsung. Actually, no. Wait, hold on. Now this is 16 volts. Is it gonna work? Is it even gonna fit? I'm using my Toughbook charger. See if this works. Nah, definitely. This is not gonna work. The connector is way too big, so definitely not gonna work. Right, I would just use. Because I forgot if a Samsung charger has the pin. I think it does, doesn't it? I remember it having a pin in the middle. Does it? It does. Okay. Yeah. Ugh. You know, if the laptop charger was USB-C, I would have got it sorted instantly, but it is not USB-C. And because of that, I have to revert to these power bricks with these things on the end. And man, they get really annoying. Alright, so let's just try a couple of more times to use my Toshiba laptop charger, because I want to get this to work, but I know it ain't gonna work, because Toshiba laptops are different than Dell laptops and many other brands. Not all laptops are the same. I can take this apart and I can give it a clean, but that's probably the most I can do at the moment. Oh wait, hold on. That jet fan, I don't know if I'm seeing that right. I really can't tell if I'm seeing that right. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this, everybody. Look at the jet fan inside. There's usually a little breathe hole for the jet fan. Look at this. You know what? Because you know how most notebooks, they usually do a very cheap method where they use the jet fan upside down. Oh, imagine now this is downside up. It looks like downside up. If that's the case, I may as well even keep this, because I do like a downside up jet fan. That's what I've always been wanting. And a copper heatsink. I love what they did here. If they did do a downside up jet fan, because upside down doesn't last the longest, but the spinning wise it's alright. But as in longevity, it doesn't last that long. So here's our model of our laptop, just in case you guys want to see it, just in case I want to see it. After the stream is kind of worn out because the laptop is very used. I'm pretty sure this laptop still works. It's just the fact that it's very used. Whatever. I want to know what CPU this has, and if it does have a replaceable CPU, if the CPU is replaceable, amazing stuff. I can literally replace the CPU then. Easy as that. I don't even have to worry about anything. I can just replace the CPU and there we go. I don't have any other. I don't know if this thing has AMD or Intel, or that's something. I thought, yeah, by default, because it's this version of Windows, it's most likely Intel. Oh, imagine if this has Nvidia. If this has an Nvidia, I'm definitely keeping it. Alright. And yet the battery, let me show you guys. Do this one-handed, 1 second. There. The battery is really in there. Anyways, the battery is designed a lot like my Samsung laptop, I can tell you that for sure, but it's only 10.8 volts and it's 4,000 milliamp hours. Usually for a notebook battery you need it to be 11.1 volts, because that's, you know, because it's supplying more power. The more power it's supplying though, the better, because, you know, it's applying more power. It's better that way. So we do have a bit of a breathe hole over here for the laptop and some over here. Very much like a PS3 this is, with the breathe holes being there and there in the same sort of form. Now, usually behind this will be the hard drive, and I think behind this will be the RAM. Sometimes there'll be an extra. There'll be a third one around here somewhere. That would be featuring a. Not there here. That would be featuring a the wireless, the two wireless cards, the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi. Maybe even sometimes cellular if you can get lucky, but I don't think you do have cellular in this laptop. I don't. Is this what's supposed to be behind this thing? Because it looks like there's something behind here, but I don't know what it is. Honestly, I don't have a clue what's behind there. Showing some sort of symbol, looks like a Mac OS button or something. You know what? You know on the Mac OS keyboard, you got this button. It kind of looks like that. If I zoom in. So you know on the keyboard of a Mac or a MacBook, there's usually a button that looks like that. I don't know why that symbol's on here. Whatever. I mean, my phone probably doesn't have it. It probably does. I'm not sure. I haven't checked. Yeah. First of all, I'm gonna see what hard drive and what RAM, whatever this is using. What's the chances of it being an SSD? Now, it could be an SSD, but I'm not really sure. I will give it a look though. I'll see if it does have an SSD because I actually want to know. If it does have an SSD, amazing, because I can use that SSD in my other stuff. Let's hope it's a 480 gig SSD then, shall we? I'm gonna go get my screwdriver. I'll be right back, everybody. Alright everyone, I've got my screwdriver kit. It's quite broken. Broke a couple of years ago. I had to do that. Anyways, we get a Philips bit. I have worked on a Toshiba laptop before. If you guys seen that live stream, I remember making that live stream very clearly. I just made it because I just wanted to. Because that other Toshiba laptop, the screen was all going bad on it. So I was like, yeah, go ahead and fix it. May as well do a live stream for it, you know. That was very tight. You know what? I might even need a bigger Philips bit because it's probably not going to cut it. So I need something that's bigger. The bigger the Philips bit, the more torque it will have. Take a look now. Oh, the laptop's really flexing. Now, you know what? I could even get my Philips screwdriver. My massive one. Be right back, everybody. Whilst I go get that. Honestly, what's going on today? Pardon me. Alright, let's go ahead. Yeah, looking at the jet fan, it does look like a downside up jet fan, which is amazing news for me. I think it's curved as well. I don't really mind what structure it is. See, now the screw is moving with the big Phillips screwdriver, because that has got more torque in it, whereas the other one's smaller, so it's not going to have as much torque. Anyway, oh, very technical. What is this? Something broken off. What is that? Oh wait, is this a? Hold on. Wait. What is this connector for? What does that go? Hold on. I am extremely confused. That wasn't supposed to happen. That I was just hold my phone. And my phone thought I put double tap. But anyways, that is very strange. What is this connector going to? Look at this. There's some. I think that's from the jet fan, if I'm not mistaken. Because there's some positive, negative wires coming from where the jet fan is. But I'm not sure if that is from the jet fan. But you do have another wire coming off, and I'm not sure what this is for. It's got two connectors. This is probably for one of the speakers. Where the hell does this thing go? There's another connector there with something missing. Not something missing, but you know, the connector that goes to this connector is missing. I don't even know what even goes there. This is very, very, very strange. I didn't expect this. Anyways, let's see what sort of RAM it's using. It could be by the time at the time it would have been, what would it be using? Probably DDR2. When was DDR3 made? Yeah, it looks very DDR2. Not very, but sort of DDR2. It's hard to say. PC2, is that what it is? PC2? 6400S Echo. So, I don't know, this is probably DDR2, I would reckon anyways, because at the time, yeah, look, I mean, I'm not really sure, it's kind of hard to say which one it is. But you know, since this thing has Samsung RAM as well, I really hope this is not DDR2 as well. Nope, PC2, never mind, DDR2. I hate DDR2 because it's so slow. I hate it when it just says it's DDR2. How many gigabytes is this one? 1 gig of RAM. How much was the other one? This is 1 gig of RAM. I seriously don't know why you needed one gigabyte of RAM. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Can this handle DDR3? Because I'm usually used to DDR3. Not DDR2. DDR2 is quite slow. As in RAM performance. So it may not be the fastest computer in the world, fastest laptop in the world, but whatever. Take a look at this. This is also 1 gig. Obviously, it's going to be DDR2 to be compatible with it. But I think this technology is very old. I don't even have the sort of equipment for this. Well, I didn't know it would have DDR2. I'm just assuming it's got DDR2 because it looks like it does. If it says PC2, then I know it's DDR2. If it says PC3, then I know it's DDR3. And if it says PC4, then I know it's DDR4 and so on. So, it really depends on that value, what it says. Because if it's something like DDR1, then it should say PC1, or it should just say DDR1 instead. But anyways, yeah, let's also take a look at the hard drive cover, because I want to know what's want to know what hard drive this thing uses. Because you never know. It's probably just some shitty mechanical SATA 1.5 terrible hard drive. Who knows? Who knows? Let's take the hard drive out. See. Oh, it's a shitty mechanical hard drive. Oh no. This looks like IDE. The way it's set up, it looks like IDE. Hold on. Oh, thank God it's SATA. Thank God it's SATA. Alright. I don't know what hard drive this is. It doesn't say. What hard drive is it? Oh, look, it looks like a Samsung hard drive. No way. Oh, Fujitsu. Oh, it's one of their hard drives. What is this then? Is this SATA 2, SATA 3? What is this? How many gigabytes? What are you saying? Nah, 1 gigabyte? 1 gigabyte? What the hell? Are you actually serious? You're actually serious right now? 1 gigabyte? Nah. How is that even enough to even install Windows on here? 1 gigabyte? Are you actually serious right now? You're actually serious, right? 1 gigabyte. What's the speed of this? Is this even... How many RPM is this thing? Oh, nice. Fujitsu Korea. That's similar to Samsung. That's why it looks like a Samsung drive, but it's not. What the hell? Yeah, I could use this with my PS4. But honestly, like, to be honest, I'm not sure how many gigabytes this is. And I'm not sure what the speed of the motor. Looking at it, looks like plastic, and that part there. I usually don't see this part. I'm usually way used to newer hard drives. This is probably something like, because the way this was set up. When this was in like that, I thought, oh no, it's probably some shitty IDE hard drive. When I pulled it out, I was like, thank God it's SATA, because I can tell the difference between SATA and IDE when the hard drive is upside down, and from that, I didn't know what it was. I just thought, yeah, it's probably some shitty IDE hard drive. But I've never seen a Fujitsu hard drive. I don't think I have anyways. I've seen Fujitsu PCs and whatnot. I haven't seen a Fujitsu hard drive. So, that's good that they're using. I know Toshiba exclusively makes hard drive as well. But yeah, honestly, it's not mentioning. I could plug this into my Windows 10 device and see what it comes up with, because it's probably not 1 gigabyte. It's probably like something like, I don't know, like 320. Honestly, I hope it's not 320. I hope it's something more than 320, like maybe 480 gigabytes, I would say. That way I could probably, I don't know, I kind of don't want to use it with my PS4, but at the same time I'm like, maybe I could use this with my PS3. If it does work well, then I could use it with my PS3. It really depends. Or I could use this as a, hold on a second. When this hard drive is in there like that, when it's in like that, oh, this is going so well. I've just realized that this is going extremely well. So when the hard drive is in like that, the hard drive isn't upside down. It's because it's a mechanical hard drive, it's downside up. Same thing with the jet fan. The jet fan is not upside down either. I like how they did that, because honestly, I don't really care about the RAM being upside down. That's SSD stuff anyways, but the jet fan and the hard drive, the two moving parts, they have to be downside up. It doesn't really matter about the DVD drive being upside down so much. I don't know. It's kind of weird if it is. But it's good to have moving parts downside up, because it's better that way. And stability-wise, it will be more stable, if anything. So yeah, that's amazing. Because, right, you either have a laptop with a downside-up hard drive, and mostly an upside-down jet fan. But this time we have a laptop with a downside-up jet fan and a downside-up hard drive. This is going amazingly well. So, yeah, I'm going to see what this hard drive is all about, because honestly, none of my chargers are working with this at the moment, so I don't know what's going on. I really hope this connector is not for this jet fan, because if it is, very, very concerning, and I don't know where that goes. Unless the guy that gave me this thing, unless he took this thing apart and he didn't know where this connector went, I can easily take this apart for him. Like, I put the connector back where it used to go. But yeah, that's amazing. That's honestly great with this, great for this laptop. I really like this thing. It's quite heavy, but honestly, it doesn't matter about the weight. It honestly, and it doesn't matter about the RAM thing either, because if the RAM is like, both of them are facing each other, that's completely fine. They work the same way either way anyways. But it mostly matters. I look at the jet fan and I look at the hard drive. If those two things aren't upside down, then I can definitely use this thing every day. If they aren't upside down, if they are upside down, then I can't. So, bit of a concern there. Why is there random plastic pieces on the floor now? Look at this, random plastic pieces on the floor. I don't know where they came from. Most likely the laptop. But I have to take a look at this hard drive. I need to see what this thing is all about. Because I don't know, I have to plug the thing into Windows first. And then once it loads everything, I gotta see on my other laptop what's the capacity and everything. If it's 500.0 gigabytes, I can use this anywhere. Or I can have this as a spare hard drive, use another hard drive. If it's something like, I don't know, let me think. If it's 256 gigabytes, then it's not really worth much, is it? Then you could still install Windows, do a couple of things, but not a lot. Thinking what I could use this hard drive with. I could probably use this with maybe maybe not, because I want to use SSD these days, not shitty mechanical hard drives. But yeah, I'll take a look at that model number there, because I think that's the model number. Then from that I should say. But yeah, honestly, this is just a standard SATA hard drive. Pretty nice. It looks like it's in very nice condition. Mostly because you gotta think like Sony needs to think about their hard drives, because think of it, right? When the laptop is when the laptop's on and whatnot, the hard drive's going the hard drive, especially with the PS4, the Slim and Pro, the hard drive is upside down. That's not a good thing. That's why I put an SSD straight away in my PS4. My PS4 came with one anyways. This hard drive though, not this hard drive, but what I'm trying to say is, if you have an SSD in your PS4, it's okay. Operate it like normal, like how I am. If it's the original PS4, the hard drive would be downside up normally, and it would be like that. That's also completely fine. What's not completely fine though is with it being upside down, because that can actually put pressure on the thing that holds the entire motor. I'm not on about the bearings. I'm on about the thing after the bearing, the thing on the very bottom of the motor that holds everything. Because if that thing goes, then it's not really good, then, is it? So it's good to have a hard drive downside up like that, normally operating like that. That's what it's made for, anyways. You can do it sideways, but it's not really gonna load anything much when it's sideways. Think about gravity. Like gravity can also affect the read and write speed and everything. Usually when it's like this, it's better, because it can spin up stably and it can read stably and whatnot. This is what it's made. This position is what it's made for, not upside down or sideways. It doesn't really matter, but upside down it really does. Not only that, it also push. It can also lead to the bottom bit of the read and write arm to scratch the bottom of the disc, and it can't read anything. Then it would just have the click of death every time, which is honestly, it's really not a good thing, because I don't prefer click of death, and I don't think anyone does. Anyways, slotting this thing back in. I see how this thing goes in. There we go. And then you just slide it in. Should go in one way. Just do it by the motor. There we go. There. Now that's solidly in place. Amazing. There's very little room for wiggling, playing, whatnot. So that's the hard drive. That's the RAM as well. Yeah, it's honestly like, it's been great so far. But yeah, it's pretty much my Toughbook laptop in sort of a desktop and also a notebook sort of form. Screwing it all back in now. Make sure not to go too tight, because I remember with these Golding things on my Samsung laptop, they just break off because the plastic was extremely weak. But for notebooks this old, I don't think they are. They're probably not that weak anyways. Because my Samsung laptop is a pretty slim laptop and is built out of kind of cheap-ish plastic. Obviously you expect it to break, because it's the oil in the plastic's probably degraded or something. Right, so. But yeah, I need to take a look at the RAM, especially. The RAM may need a good service. I don't know. I think they're fine. This is an entire computer, though. You know what I mean? This speaker thing got to go somewhere. Can't just leave it out like that, because it's just, what's the need? I don't know. Because I was thinking this thing probably plugs into that, whatever plugs in here. But I was like, nah, probably not. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just put it all back together and leave it there, I guess. Not much we can really do about this. Honestly, like, if I can take apart the laptop. I can take it apart. If I knew how to properly take it apart, I would. You know, one thing about RAM that I always see on laptops and like stuff like this that have this sort of foily part with like very special sort of reflective coating on it. That's for the RAM. So when the RAM gets hot, that kind of transfers the heat. Sort of makes the RAM passively cooled. So then it's better performance. What's the need for passively cooling though? You can clearly just get active cooling. But yeah, you know, finding a notebook with oh, this is gonna be a pain. Finding a notebook with a downside up jet fan and a downside up hard drive is very, very rare. I mean, the chances of finding one are just so rare, like on their own. But seriously though, I recommend like you guys give it a try. See what you guys can find. Nice. All right. Very much like my other Toshiba laptop that I don't have anymore. You know what would have been even better though? Instead of being a laptop, what if it was a desktop? That would have been the best ever. Because desktop is actually, this is sort of using a desktop like motherboard, but I don't know. It's sort of a desktop and laptop form. It's kind of hard to assume. But yeah, I mean this thing, like, it's got all those LEDs. It's also got that very anti-reflective. Oh, what is the resolution of this? This is very much like a 15.6 inch screen. I don't think it's 1366 by 768. I think this is more not 1200 by 800 because it doesn't look like that. I would say this is more sort of, I don't know. It's really hard to tell because laptops back then, they had these kind of screens. This is a very anti-reflective coating on there. You can see, just makes things blurry. The lighting. That's nice though. It makes it good for posting and whatnot. But whatever. I would prefer a laptop with a shiny screen because it's more clearer. There's no blurry crap in the way. But yeah, this thing has a nice sort of keyboard. I could probably have this as like a collector's item. Because Toshiba doesn't even make these things anymore. You know what I mean? Like, Toshiba, they're making their stuff now, but like, they don't really make stuff like this anymore. Let's see the webcam. Hold on. Unless that's not a webcam. Or is it a webcam? No, it's not a webcam. It's actually a screw. Let's put the cap back on. I bet you that screw's probably never even been exposed in its life until just then. In its entire 16 years. This laptop is fairly old. I don't think this even has a webcam. Honestly, I don't think this even has a webcam. Just because I don't think it would really be that good. Microphone wise, I don't think this laptop has a microphone either. Just because it's quite an old laptop. I don't think this is even gonna have a microphone. Whatever. Right, let's see what I think webcam laptops back then probably terrible anyways. Right, that's the maximum it can go. That's pretty good. Yeah, I could take this laptop on journeys and stuff like that with me because, I don't know. I really want to see what the DVD drive looks like inside this thing. Just take a look. Yes, it's got the eject hole there, so I can use my little, where's it gone? DVD drive ejector tool. Stick it in. There we go. Whatever. Oh shit. Okay. I've just touched the laser lens there, but oh shit. That laser is solid. I like the design of that laser though. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Just pretend to be a PS2. Beep, beep. What about the motor? Wow. See, this is proper good technology of back in the day. Do not touch the lens, obviously. I can see the worm gear motor it's using. Wow. I don't think this is the one that has the LED on it, does it? Oh, it does have an LED. This is just one of those standard laptops. Not really much to it, but yeah. This laptop, I do like the design of it, so, you know. It's got a very laptop-y design, you know what I mean? Very notebook design. Let's just hope the display doesn't have any damage on it. So I don't want to turn on the laptop and find out the display is all damaged and I have to plug in my VGA cable, which I don't know where it is. It's still in the TV, but I have to switch to VGA on the TV and then so on. It's a hassle then. But let's just hope the screen isn't damaged, because I did get told there was something wrong in the laptop. So I'm not sure. I don't even know what the issue is. I didn't even get explained what the issue was. I just got explained like, oh, there's an issue with the laptop, but I don't know what the issue is. Is it a software issue? Is it a hardware issue? I don't know. I would prefer it be a software issue than anything, because hardware issues, they're usually easy to fix. But then, depending on the issue, because like, you know, this thing, if it's got like a very, if the user's saying, oh, the laptop sounds like a literal bloody jet engine, that's super easy to fix. Overheating, I can easily fix that, because I deal with overheating all the time on my PS4 anyways. Luckily, none of my PS4's overheated, but still, I'm just saying though, I can deal with overheating on stuff like PS4s. So if I can deal with stuff like that, then it's very easy to deal with stuff like this. You know, overheating laptop is pretty much the same sort of design as a PS4, the same sort of design, but a lot smaller. And the heatsinks are obviously a lot smaller as well. But copper heatsinks are very solid. I love copper heatsinks. Just because I know copper is a great heat conductor, but it's also a very good electricity conductor. So I don't think you want to be really putting any ground through the copper heatsink. I mean, companies could do that, but there's no need. There's no need for ground in the copper heatsink. Copper is used for a lot of things, though. Not only just wires, but heatsinks too. Only in very few laptops. Now, I didn't get told the specifications of this laptop. I can take a look on the web. Let's hope it's not an Intel Atom, because usually for stuff like this, it would probably, well, have to be a way smaller laptop for it to have Intel Atom. But something like, I would say, maybe Intel Core. Oh god, let's hope it doesn't have a Core 2 Duo. That's going to be terrible if it has a Core 2 Duo, because I have to swap everything out and shit like that. Oh god, it's going to be terrible. That thing there actually has a fairly decent CPU. That's got an i5-2520M. This is just, I don't know what this has. It's either going to have AMD or Intel. Let's hope it's just got AMD or, I don't know, Intel plus NVIDIA. That's usually the best combination. But anyways, I got to eat my food, because it's probably really gone cold now. It's been about an hour now, so it's going cold. Gotta finish my food. Anyways, yeah. Let's hope this thing has an Intel Core i3 something in there. Let's hope it's got an i3 with... It doesn't matter if it's got 2 cores or 2 threads. I could probably still use this anyways. I'll speed it up when this thing is actually working. Because at the moment, when I try to turn this thing on, it doesn't show any signs of life, because it's been dead for so long. There's a classic power button there. You can just press it there. I'm just pressing it, nothing's happening. It's very extremely shitty design. It just moves all over the place. Very cheaply designed, this button. I don't even know why it's even there like that. Is that just part of the actual design of the laptop? Or would you just have to press it for it to turn on? If that's so, would you just have to press it for it to turn on, then... clearly it's the battery is serving a grounding signal on all the buttons here, especially the power button. That's the first thing that's feeding the grounding signal to. When you end your live stream, can you go on PlayStation? Sure, of course I can. Pardon me. But I mean, it's got the keyboard, like, it's sort of very much like a sort of office keyboard design, you know what I mean? I do like the design of this. It's very old-fashioned. It doesn't feel too cheap. It does feel cheap, but it doesn't feel too cheap. Yeah. It's usable, definitely usable. Honestly, the trackpad and these things here don't matter either. But anyways, we do have the nice LEDs. I'm gonna guess these LEDs probably green as well. That's just my take on it. I'm not really sure. If they are white LEDs, that's even better, because But anyways, yeah, it looks like they're probably going to be either orange or green LEDs. I'm going to assume for the LEDs here. So, the LED here, I'm also definitely going to assume that's going to be green, because usually most of the time it is always green. That's just my take on it. I'm not really sure. Will this be the same size as the other laptop? Let me just take a look. It definitely looks bigger. It might even be slightly bigger than this laptop. Unplug. Right, take a look. Because I'm not sure. Oh no, the other laptop is almost half of the size. Yeah, there is a bit of a size difference here. It's quarter of a size smaller. I would prefer a smaller laptop though, but whatever. You see, I was trying to find a notebook with exactly like this, but just even more improved. But what's it called though? Yeah, there's also a difference in screen as well. Another thing about like that laptop as well, it's got a touch screen. This Toshiba laptop, no touch screen. I'm gonna assume it doesn't either, because it doesn't even come with a stylus. But anyways, I'll keep this in stacked with that laptop. Is a tough book. It doesn't matter if it falls, because it's a tough book anyways. It's designed for shit like this. But the tough book has a bit of a charging issue, where if you can't charge two batteries at once and use the laptop at the same time, and you can't even charge two batteries even when the laptop's off or sleeping. But yeah, I mean, when the charger arrives for this laptop, I can definitely sort of use it. Oh shit. Good. Testing my fans fell this morning as well. I was just testing my fans. Right, there we go. Yeah, so after all the chargers I've just tested, none of them fit, so I don't think there's really a good match that I can find for this laptop, unless I just go to the PC repair shop, the nearest one to me, and they probably just so strangely have a charger for this laptop, which they probably don't. They probably do. They probably don't. I'm not really sure. But anyways, I'll keep this laptop in stack with that one, because I want to get the right parts for it and whatnot. And it is quite kind of a big ass laptop. I would prefer something smaller, so then it's more portable and it's more easier to carry around. The Panasonic laptop does have a bit of advantages over this one, like the downside up jet fan, which is very good copy heatsink. This has the exact same thing as well, just sort of bigger, more notebook kind of design. The processor, I think they're definitely going to be definitely a lot different. They're not going to be the same sort of processors. So I can tell you that for sure right now. The processors are definitely different. if they were the same processors, what's really the chance? Because this is a Windows, everyone hates this thing laptop, and that one's a Windows 70. So, it's really hard to tell what processor this thing has. If it's got AMD, and if it starts playing up and shit, then what the actual hell? Because I own this laptop. Actually, no, somebody sent it in for repair, and I'm repairing it up for them. But I need to get the charger first, see what's actually wrong with it, because if it's more of a software thing, then I can easily fix that and just start with a fresh wipe of Windows and do all that, because it's easier that way. Anyways, I'm just wrapping up the power supply so it's not in the way of anything. Put it there. There we go. A lot of things out of the way. I'm gonna plug the other one back in, and I'm gonna plug the connector. Where's the connector for that one going? Oh no, it's already in. All right. I'm gonna put my screwdriver back as well, along with both of the bits. But yeah, I like doing laptop repairs. I just find it a nice little hobby. I'm always repairing laptops anyways. Not always, but most of the time repairing laptops. Whenever I get the chance to, I do. I always put like fresh thermal paste and whatnot. I've even got better thermal paste, so I can even put that in this laptop, and I can have the best performance ever. And I can also upgrade it with an SSD if it's really necessary. Then yeah, I will, because SSDs are very important for laptops as well. You need to have an SSD in them, otherwise it's going to be very, very slow. Unless, if you got like a say a SATA 3 hard drive, it may not even be the same. If it's something like a PS4 with a SATA 3 hard drive, it's alright. A laptop is gonna kind of behave differently. I'll just say straight up, just put an SSD in a laptop. It's easier then. But anyways, I've got to order the charger for the laptop. So yeah, that's just gonna be part 1. Part 2 may be coming whenever I get the charger and whenever I'm available to stream. I'll stream just then. But at the moment, I can't stream at the moment because yeah, I'm pretty much done anyways. There's nothing else to really show here. So yeah, that's been it. And the laptop didn't even turn on because none of the chargers fit, and the laptop's been dead for ages. So that's what I got told. Like, the laptop's been dead for quite long. And it's obvious. The laptop is dead for quite a long time. Probably the last 10 years. Probably because in that 15 years time, that 5 years, that 5 years gap, I would say that 5 years gap, the laptop has been used. I can just assume anyways. Then maybe a couple years later, maybe not. Maybe like, I would reckon 2012, it probably stopped being used. And then ever since then, it's been sat there dead for a while. Been sat there for a decade, just dead. So, yeah. Obviously, at that time, better laptops each year kept coming out. And even these days, better laptops are still coming out. They're not coming out every day. It's either every couple of months or every year. And then a newer version of Windows is also every... What's it called? Yeah, like every, let's say, I don't know, 2 years. Every 2, 3, 4 years, a new version of Windows comes out anyways. So, yeah. But yeah, I was gonna reckon this is like a Windows XP machine. It's not Windows XP. So, yeah, because I was like, yeah, it looks like Windows XP. It didn't look really like the best sort of condition. I looked at the Windows key. I was like, yeah, it looks a lot like Windows XP. Then when I looked, oh, it's that version of Windows. It's new. It's just after XP, so it's just in time for Aero. If it's capable of Aero, then obviously it's gonna be capable of Not really so intensive graphics, but just enough to operate the system and whatnot. So yeah, but yeah, I know if it's Windows 70 stuff like that, obviously it's capable of Aero. Even if it's like Windows 10 or the Windows that came out before Windows 10, 8.1, then that's also capable of Aero as well. That sort of Aero, that sort of animation-y, sort of. But if it's a Windows 10 laptop, if it's designed for Windows 10, definitely capable of anything, any sort of graphics. It just has to have the right sort of setting and the right sort of CPU and stuff like that to actually handle stuff like that, even if it's internal graphics. But yeah, I would rather prefer this laptop to have an NVIDIA chip inside, and also something like an i3, because i3s are pretty good. They're better than Call 2 Duos. I don't think I've ever used the Call 2 Duo before. My friend once did have a Call 2 Duo. I think he still has I think he still uses Call 2 Duo machine. But yeah, I could just tell you how sort of slow Call 2 Duo is, because it's a different socket 775 for that. But I would rather get something like a socket 1155, because they're usually the most common sockets and they're pretty good as well. So because you can actually fit i7 in them as well. So they go from i3 to i7. They fortunately, I don't think they do go to i9. They probably do, but what's really the chance? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put all the stuff back, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put the screwdrivers back. I'll put the chargers back afterwards, and yeah, that's gonna be it. So I'll be right back, everyone. Alright, and just after all that explaining, you can just see how kind of dark it's gone out there now. It looks more purpley on camera. It looks more highlighted, I would say, on camera than anything else. Like highlighted purpley sort of shade when you look at it on camera. In person, it's more sort of ghosted. And camera is way more sort of... looks more purpley, it looks more highlighted on camera than it is in real life. So that's when that's when the phone sees it. But what I see is normal. Anyways, the PS4 is asleep. Let me show you guys. Asleep. There we go. Yeah. So that's gonna be it for today. You can see I'm a PC repair technician, because I've got all PC parts laying around here. I've got my graphics card box. I've got thermal paste. I've got everything like that. I've even got my own mod chip, which I retrieved from something that I got. And yeah, a lot of PC stuff laying around. You can see some full of technology. Also there as well, that in that bag is also a lot of wires for PCs and stuff like that. Especially HDMIs and stuff like that. And power supply wires and shit. Yeah, so you can see I've got my entire room's full of PC stuff. Mostly technology. Even in my window there's tech as well. Let me show you guys the power bank. So if we go to the power bank, it's a solar power bank, but the only issue is the weather wasn't really that bright today, so I've only got one LED of charge, solar charge that is. We do have a bit of a power there, which is great, but what's it called? It's not really reliable that much, I would say. I was thinking earlier on in school, like, how power is being generated by, sometimes is hidden underground, sort of above the surface, sort of underneath the surface, I would say. When people walk on it, it kind of generates power anyways. But anyways, I was thinking, what if, and I was coming up with the design in my head, What if there was something that kind of, I don't know what it could be, like maybe a special sort of headset when somebody's talking, because a lot of people talk every day. So when somebody's talking, it moves a diaphragm. It's like kind of like basically like a microphone, but the microphone's not being powered. The microphone in fact is generating power. That's even better, and it generates sort of not 12 volts every second, but I would say sort of a charge of 220 volts maybe, and it's kind of inside. It's part of the same microphone as on your headset, and you basically talk, and that generates power, and that stored power can be used for anything. I think something like that would be great, or maybe I don't know. It's hard to kind of think for something like that. That's the future probably. Anyways, that's what somebody might even come up with, because there's so many things. Probably even like, I would say maybe a bike that somebody could drive that generates electricity, like something like an e-bike. But I don't know if e-bikes use electric to help you, or if electric to store. I'm not really sure. If it's electric to store, definitely get one. If it's like electric to help you go up hills and whatnot, yeah, I don't know. I probably won't get one. Whatever. My food's gone cold, so I've got to eat it. And yeah, and this is my sort of this is my sentence on all the technology I have. I'm loving it. Anyways, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'll see you probably even on the call, because my PS4 is asleep and my TV's off. Jamie, and yeah, so bye bye everyone on the stream.